think just to kick things off, there was a landmark that you just achieved in terms, just yesterday, right? In terms of your relationship to Poland.
Oh, yeah. I got my social security number yesterday. I'm going to be, yes.
Nice.
Polish citizen, yes.
Look at this, because the film is shot entirely in Poland, and is an amazing love letter to that country and the fraught history. Why Poland specifically? Because we were just talking about our family heritages a little bit. You mentioned like Germany was a background for you, but why?
No, Poland was a background for me. My name is German, but that's because I think they were like the Jews there were living on like German land or something like that. I don't know why. A lot of Jews from Poland have names that are German. But why? My family comes from there, and I traveled there like 15 years ago with my wife, and I just became so enamored by the place, and then even more, it tickled like the narcissistic part of me that was like interested in my family history, like, oh, I could have a connection to something. It's so interesting and, exotic. And then as I got to know it more, it became less exotic, more familiar. And I thought a great place to set a story.
Kieran, what about you? How did you get involved? Because I know last night you told Vincent, our social media manager here at IndieWire, that, you had not seen Succession. And how did this connection and come about? And you...
That's more a question for him. The answer's boring. Script came in, I read it, when me likey, and now me in movie.
That's pretty much every actor could hear at Sundance. Yeah.
Sometimes there's an interesting story, not for me, but yeah.
No, I sent like the first 20 pages to my sister, and she reads, everything I write, and she was just like, "There's only one person that can play this part. He's the greatest actor in the world, my sister." And no, everybody thinks that, but my sister at the time just so I did my. You're right there?
Yeah, again,
all right.
Bronchitis or something.
I did 40 seconds of research, and it was exactly right. I've known him for a long time, and I've loved Kieran for a long time, and we knew each other only a very little bit. But it just was perfect. I mean, and when people see the movie, I think their first reaction is, my God, this is like the greatest acting.
Shut up. And the big trust on your part, though, to not really have watched the thing and been like, oh, well, my sister likes him, so fuck it.
Oh, yeah. No, I've seen you in other things. I
Okay.
think you're genius. It's just I hadn't seen the show because it's so popular, and I just avoid anything popular out of spite.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so, yeah. No, but I mean, he's the greatest. I mean,
Stop it.
When you got the script, what was it about it in particular that spoke to you?
I almost never know. If I don't like something, my manager's right there, so she knows this. Like, if I don't like something, I have every word. I'm very articulate. These are the reasons why I don't want to do it. When I like something, I go, I barely say yes. I just I connect with the language, I guess, and just went. And I remember, so this is probably not something I should be saying in interviews, but screw it. Because of the job I just came off of, I was really looking forward to free time. And I remember trying to, I told you this already. I was trying to get out of doing the movie.
While we were location scouting.
While you were there.
While we had equipment purchased.
Yeah, and I was really trying to figure out any way to get out of it. And I thought, okay, I'm going to read this script for a third time, and maybe I'll find some flaw in it, something that makes me go, oh, this isn't worth my... And I read the whole thing, and for the third time in a row, I'm laughing out loud at the script and going, damn it, I feel like I need to do this. I told my wife, she goes, so are we going to Poland or not? And I was like, I think we are, honey. I'm sorry. I want to do this movie. And I'm like, oh, wait. I haven't seen his first film yet. I'm gonna watch that, I'm gonna hate it, and I'm gonna be like, I'm out. Then I watch his movie and I love it, so I felt like I had to go out there and do it.
How would each of you
It's all good and bad.
It's awful and good.
Yeah.
How would each of you describe your characters? Because there's personal traumas that you've been through, both of these characters, and also the weight of history, also that you're grappling with. What was it about their headspace that spoke to you that you found really compelling?
This is more you.
Yeah, we both are like characters that are kind of really products of the modern world. I'm dealing with a kind of modern urbane general anxiety kind of disorder and slight OCD, like the things that I have and deal with. And then Kieran has a more kind of profound set of painful circumstances, but it's kind of set against the movie is, set against the backdrop of historical, genocide. And so it's trying to kind of, the movie in general is trying to kind of show, how to reconcile these two things, these three versions of pain, kind of a light modern pain, something very dark but personal, and then something traumatic and global.
This film arrives at a very fraught moment with anti-Semitism on the rise in such a distressing way across the world. What do you hope that people will take away from the movie, just based on what you depict and the history that you invoke?
I mean, the movie's not speaking to any particular current moment, but, you know, it's like, you know, it shows the context of, you know, Jewish history and, you know, especially 20th century, and now into modern, essentially secular Judaism. And, you know, so it provides some kind of like color to that world. But the movie is, you know, it's not a political movie, and it could really be set in any time over the last 30 years.
And, you know, to star in the film and direct it, it's such a personal story for you. I mean, like, how did you, you know, there's so much going on a film set all the time. Like, how do you keep your focus? How do you keep dialed in on what's important, what you need to do in any moment?
I mean, I just became obsessed with Kieran because he has the difficult part in the movie, and he's so genius. And it was really just about how can we capture what this person is doing so well. And so we had to rearrange our entire shoot because Kieran is an unusual performer.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
Unusual.
And I mean, Kieran, for your part, I mean, this is a character who's kind of out of control. And, you know, how did you get in? How did you dial into where he was coming from and, you know, find the core of this character?
I don't know. It was on the page, and I just wanted to make sure that it just sort of came out. I feel like I didn't do any prep for this, which I quite liked. I think that wouldn't really be the character's nature. I don't think he often knows what's going to come out of his mouth. So I liked sort of trying to be kind of loose, but stay tight to the script, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean, Kieran is so brilliant. It's like, I hate improv more than anything, you know, because
You do?
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, you think, oh, you wrote it, it's done. Why? And yet, when he would improvise, it was, amazing, and we'd want to use it, which is unusual for me, at least. And then, like, more importantly, it showed me his idea of this character that's been in my head for so long, that he had an idea that was, like, both very in line with what I was hoping for, and then something far beyond it, and more interesting and creative and nuanced and really, really funny.
Because that's also why I would do that, because again, I just wanted what was on the page. But if I do that, it's more for the filling in the gaps for us that you're like the stuff you're not going to use, just to like.
Oh no, but we used it.
Discover who the guy is. Okay.
It's so great.
Kieran, you know, to have this as your first role right after Succession, you know, and you mentioned that you didn't even know if you wanted to do it necessarily because you felt you needed a break. I mean, when all is said and done, the fact that you did do it, what did it mean to you to have this be your immediate project after the show ended?
I'm happy for it, because I remember feeling like, because the nature of the way we shot Succession, I remember going, okay, Kieran, you have to remember that things aren't shot like this, and you have to readjust, because doing that show was a complete readjustment of everything that I had learned to do. I've been working for a long time at that point and thought I had a process, and I had to take all of that and dump it out the window. And then I got so used to the way that we worked on that show that I remember feeling like I don't know how to adjust back. And then I feel like when you and I started working, there was like, at the very beginning, I was almost frustrated because I was trying to do, I had like a muscle that I was used to working a certain way.
Of course.
And I was trying to adapt to your way entirely, and then I sort of couldn't, and then you tried to like adapt to my way, and then we found something in the middle pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, and even the stuff that we got when we were like that. But I remember at the beginning going, shut up, Kieran, just it's his movie, just do it his way. And
well, this movie was much more typical of almost everything that's made. It's shot with setups and angles and multiple takes. The thing he was on for years is like...
Never did that.
Yeah, I mean, that was the unusual thing. So, but the other thing was Kieran's character is so spontaneous and such a live wire that actually it was to our benefit as a movie and as a whole to follow his energy, because that's what gives the movie its heart and spark.
It's funny because to be that way, but like on our show, you know, cameras would be sort of somewhere, and you would run the entire scene like 5 times, and then you're done. That's it, it's gone. And then by the time we were getting the coverage, and I was like, I think we've run the scene 30 times. I don't even know what it is anymore.
I know.
But that's the way that I always filmed. I didn't have that muscle anymore.
Of course.
To like keep trying to find it. But you know, you'd think like, so having done plays, you were doing it 8 times a week for months. But that's, you know, that's a different muscle, you know. Yeah.
No, but I set you up to do any commercial that you want to do. You know, perfume ad where you have to do it multiple times and your face has to be holding the thing.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know how to do that now. You're welcome.